Hello you, welcome to Geekism. It is DLC day here in Planet Coaster. The Adventure Pack is now available to purchase on the Steam store for £7.99 Great British pounds. Not too sure what it is elsewhere, maybe €10.99, something like that, and the same in the States. Anyway, it's here and we're going to have a bit of an overview of it. If you're watching this on the day this is released, tomorrow we're going to be doing a live stream where we have a deep dive into this and have a real good look around all the new scenery pieces. This is as fast as possible an overview of what we get in the pack. So here we go. Create your own pyramids, temples and other jungle structures. Lure your guests into Asian traps and have them encounter some truly scary creatures, including crocodiles, hippos or even mummies. Included 3 new rides, Golf the Coaster, Island Adventure and Land Ahoy, and a new entertainer, Renee Feu. Are you ready for an adventure? We certainly are. Let's dive into an open map and have a look. Okay, first up we have the new rides. 3 new rides, a coaster, a track ride and a transport ride. The first one is called Gold Fever. It is a swinging mine cart track. This is the blueprint you get with it, called Pyramid of the Serpent it's called. I mean, this thing is just crazy, you know, typical sort of blueprint that we get in the game, but it's an easy way for me to throw it down and show you the ride. Okay, so we're going to have a little look here. This is very sort of reminiscent of maybe Seven Dwarfs mine train coaster in Magic Kingdom. So we'll be able to see. Are we going? No, we're not going, are we? There we go. Let's try that again, shall we? There we are. I want to be able to see the actual things move. So they have this sort of weird sort of gyroscoping action. So they swing a little as we go. That's already a good view. This crazy lift hill. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But we'll see now as it goes around corners. The cars swing, which is quite nice. It doesn't look, from what I can tell, the ability to turn the swinging nature off. Which maybe would have been nice, but I quite like it. It's obviously set. It's not. They're not physics swinging here. They're set. It's set to the track. But you know, I think it's quite nice, and I like the option of having a mine train coaster without the big train on the front of it as well. It's something I remember asking for a long time ago when we were building the mine train over in Geektopia. So overall, I think it's nice. The track looks good, and yeah, I think that's pretty neat coaster. Next up we have the Land Ahoy. This again is the in-game blueprints, known as the Lay the Land, it's called, this one. So this is a track ride, a similar sort of track to the River Rapids, but using these awesome boat structures, or like steamboat style structures. You can also treat this as a transport ride as well. You can have multiple stations. So just going to chuck this on here real quick so we can actually get the thing open. The only problem is here, unfortunately, is because it's a transport ride, there's no way of testing it. It'll just kind of sit there until people show up. But you can see that the one they've built here is very much a sort of fun ride, and people will come and have a little ride of this, and there's a lot of the new scenery that we're going to have a better look of in a minute. But I think these boats are really nice looking. The third one is basically the same sort of thing, but now it's built into the water itself. Let's just set the lights to be a decent lightness here. Oh, this one is actually going, so maybe just after a while it just has a little ticker along. So this one rests inside the lakes itself, and again you can set it up to be a ride with loads of scenery, like a jungle cruise style thing, or you can set it to be a transport ride as well with multiple stations so that people can use it to get across a lake. I think it's really nice. I think they've done a good job of making it a little themed, but not too much to be over the top. Okay, so I think it's okay. You know, we've got a bit of Life Boy, we've got definitely a little bit of adventure style theme here, but it's not so offensive that this wouldn't work as a relatively generic ride as well, I think personally. So that's they've all turned out really nicely. Big fan of the 2 boat rides here. Definitely going to be looking at using this one on a lake in Pinewood Hills. I think would work quite nicely. Maybe even this one as well as like a river caves sort of thing, similar to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You know, like a budget jungle, budget jungle ride. We'll see. Anyway, let's have a look at all the new funky scenery. Alright, first thing we're looking at is the new path extras. So we have a new picnic bench, a regular bench and a bin. I thought, seeing as we've got a bit of path down, we might as well chuck down Renee Feu as well, or Renee Feu, whatever her name was. She's really cool, got a confetti gun like a few of the others. Best thing is, you won't be able to hear her very well here, but she speaks Planko in a French accent, which is quite impressive to do. Benches, I quite like these. I'm not a massive fan of these. These are really nice, purely because of how plain they are. They're going to be really nicely to be skinned and stuff, but the bins look great as well. There's no new path texture. This is, I think, the pirate path, actually, but it works quite nicely with this sort of thing. Right, next up, animatronics. Oh my word, there are a hell of a lot of animatronics. 77, I believe, or 33 animatronic objects for a total of 77 different animations. These things are crazy. First of all, we have a huge set of cogs and gears that will obviously be able to work together nicely to make it look like you're opening huge doors. We have a big button here to press to sort of open up the doorways, and then we have a massive array of traps. These are going to be so cool to have a coaster flying around, balls dropping down. We have the traditional Indiana Jones ball rolling behind you, spikes and stuff. I can't wait to see how people are going to be able to use these in a really good adventure ride. Look at all of these. We've got blocks, look at these swings. They're going to look so good on various stuff. And these as well, I think these are going to be really quite useful for mine trains, for spooky houses, all sorts. These really cool pillars that break, look. Very nice. Those are going to be really useful, I think. A few more random animatronics down here. We've got a couple of little Indiana Jones styly guys having a dig there, having a little look around. Again, they're quite nicely themed. They can go in Western to give you some variation in Western as well as adventure. We also have some cool little scarab beetles here. Okay, next up we have a plane. I feel a little bit sorry for Uthris after spending ages building a really awesome plane. We now have one in the game. We also have just the rotation, what they call rotary propeller, that's the word I was trying to think of as well, and a broken one as well. I haven't got to scenery yet, but I'm assuming we have all these pieces of the plane separate in scenery too. A couple of coaster doors, one that swings open and one that lifts up. Again, very, very nicely done. And then we have a huge selection of animatronics based around 3 new animals. We have alligators, we have snakes, and we have hippos. Okay, so everything has 2 sizes. We have these huge super gianty ones that do various things, look around, snap, jump, things like that. We've got swimming ones. I mean, I put these just on the ground so you can see, but obviously these work really nicely on the water. See ones that swim out here. There's ones that do figures of 8 as well. I think that's that one maybe, look. So it comes like this. So you can place him under the water and he just goes around and does a figure of 8, which is awesome. Same with hippos. Oh, scorpions as well. I forgot the scorpions. Hippos that sit on the water. They go straight. They do figures of 8 as well, which will look really good. Scorpions, there's a couple of different scorpions. Also, all the scorpion pieces come separate as well, like this arm here, the spike even, sorry. And then these are really like, we've got some cool little scorpions as well in the background there. Let me just show you those. Whoops. I'm trying to get through everything because there's so much. I want this video not to be like an hour long. Couple of snakes even. Smaller snakes as well. Do you know what? I can see people doing a pretty neat zoo here. I mean, there wouldn't be that many animals. We'd have crocodiles, maybe little scorpions, hippos, but I can see these working really nicely in like a Busch Gardens style park. You know, it's not actual zoo, but these look realistic enough and relatively well scaled. Maybe not these huge giant things, but relatively well scaled that these would work quite well in a sort of zoo look. We also have these cool snake pits that look great. They just sort of roll around. There's no actual heads to them, and that's really nice. And then we have these fantastic mummies. Again, going to be great to add into haunted houses, as well as obviously all this stuff is for adventure, but I'm trying to think a little bit outside the box and think of areas we can use these in other places as well. Very, very cool. So there's your animatronics. There are over 300 odd pieces of scenery here. These are the blueprints you get with it, give you a rough idea of some of the things you can do. Loads of new foliage we'll be looking at in a moment. Vehicle pieces. Like I say, we've already seen a lot of the traps set up, but here's some of them in action. Awesome pieces here. The vines look really great. Statues look really great. Some larger pieces here as well. A lot of this is completely piece by piece generated as well. And another little door down here as well. Especially these awesome structures here. These are all completely piece by piece built. Look, even down to like feet. I mean, that's a full head. But there are some of the faces, I don't think there's any on here, are completely separate bits. So here we go. Let's have a look at some of this in a little bit more detail. We start off some new fence pieces. They're sort of like wooden spikes. A couple more fences would be nice, but to be honest with you, a lot of the fences we already have kind of fit this adventure theme, so that's okay. These are two... Oops, no, I don't want to cancel. These are two new signs, which we can add some text to. There we go. So we've got... That's a really nice one, that one. And then this one is, again, pretty plain to use in a few different themes, so I like that. A couple of regular doors. Lighting wise, there's two new pillar lights here. There's also this thing here, Firebowl. Even though it's under lighting, you're going to have to add your own fire to that, which again is nice because it gives you more of an option to use something with it. You've also got, you know, the ability to turn it up and use it as well, whatever you can think of, really. So here we go. Then here's the one I made earlier. I've literally just sewn this together, but like I say, even down to the ears, look. The nose, the eyeballs, these are all separate pieces to build your own statues. There's so many of them. I'm not going to place them all down, but there's probably about 50, 60, 70 maybe of just those. And also, most of them have gold variations as well. So if you look here, look, as well as the bronze, these sort of stony coloured ones that are recolorable, by the way. So you're going to be able to, you know, change these out. You're going to be able to make them look like they're painted, but also you're going to be able to put some nice sort of dark stone colour into there as well, so they look more like a granite texture or something like that. You know, lots of different options there. Next up, a couple of little things that I couldn't seem to find in animatronics, but these look like they shoot poison darts, or at least it's just meant to look like it does. It's not actual animatronic, I don't think, that one. This one though is not too sure what you'd use that for, but I think it's for basically another part of the cogs. For some reason it doesn't come under animatronics. These are really nice, lots of different decals to use onto wall pieces, giving you corners, edges. Really going to be very useful. These are one for making cool looking walls in an adventure theme, but also a lot of these are going to be just really nice to use for a bit of detailing in places as well. Like I say, the plane does come as all separate pieces. Sorry, was just turning Discord off there. And then we have another fire pits, but again, you add your own fire. These things, more glass, really nice looking glass as well. And some sort of luminescence to them as well. Again, all colourable. These ones here, there could be a new window. I'm not sure. You know, they're all gems. They're all looking really funky. A couple of little bits here, fire pit and a diesel can that'll be really good for backstage. A Jeep comes as one main piece with the separate wheels that you put. I've just randomly thrown them there. Some really nice rope bridges. I'm not too sure how useful those are going to be. They're just scenery pieces, but what thing you do get quite nice is these ones here that I'm pretty sure will fit over a 4-meter path. So they're going to actually be usable. Very nice nice work on those. You get one of the steamboats from the ride just on its own that you can make look like it's crashed or something like that, a la Jaws. A couple of bits of rubble. A new set of vines. These are sort of hanging vines. Very nice looking these are. They're called tropical vines, but you can use these just sort of on the bottom of the piers and things like that to make the piers look a little bit run down. Another vehicle that again comes in pieces, so you've got some tyres and different backs for them then. And then a huge set of scaffolding. Really nice this is. One of my favourite pieces in the original game is the 2 pieces of pirate scaffolding you get. So now we have a full set of it. We're going to be able to do a lot more nice options with that. Next up, we have some new foliage. I say some new foliage, loads of new foliage, pretty much doubles the amount of foliage that was already in the game. They're all adventure themed, so it's lots of palms and roots and vines and things like that. But a lot of these are going to be very, very useful in sort of places where there's a bit more of a hotter climate. We've got the Akia palm, Alexander palms. There's a few variations of each one. They're really nice sizes. We have this huge set of bamboo hedges and larger sort of standalone areas as well. You're going to be able to drop in and create some really nice brush. We have a new larger tree here, the Brazil nut tree. We have these palms. I've been waiting for something like this for so long. These date palms, these are the exact sort of thing you would find in an actual theme park, so I really love these. These dead swamp trees, good for like a spooky area, something like that. Again, a couple of other great little palms here, great fern palms these are called, and these ones as well, jelly palms. These are lovely. These I think we will be able to use, especially that one there. That's a relatively common looking sort of plant in the UK. Jungle plant deliciosa it's called, but I think it looks like something we get in the UK. And these ones as well, nice sort of succulents. Some more larger ones here, the kapok, the sago palms. No new rocks per se, but we do have this set of stalagmites and tights. Well, they're just stalagmites, but obviously if you do this, They're stalactites, you see. Haha, look, you learn something every day, don't you? And some larger areas of them already clumped up. And then, like I say, a huge set of new vines, including some that you can use as archways, some that hang over nicely across walls, and ones that you can fill out into sort of bigger areas. Really, really nice stuff. One of my favourite pieces of the new update is this new foliage, actually. New special effects, starting off with some really nice looking magma panels that will scale and tile quite nicely, and loads of lava to go with it, various forms of shooting up fire, dropping down lava bubbles, lava, smaller things like that, smoke as well. All of that will tie in really nice together to create big lava fields. Here are some impacts. These all sit nicely under the ground. You get a really nice effect on these where they sort of warp almost slightly as things land, so you set those to time up nicely with the balls landing and things like that. Here's the big one. We have waterfalls. These are really, really gorgeous looking. There's a large one and a not so large one, but even more impressive than that, we also have a kind of kit to make our own, to be honest, with these things. So let's have a look at this quickly. Can I select that? Yeah, there we go. So you can drag these things down towards the bottom. Alright, so we'll place those there and duplicate that across. And there's this super long one and a top piece. So we'll drag the top piece in to look roughly where it should go. Like that. And then really you can adjust the height of the waterfall using these two pieces, so we can have a waterfall that's that high. Like that. Or we can have one that's, sort of like up there. As soon as it catches up. Maybe not that high. I've got some trees in the background there that are making the whole thing pretty crazy. But, pretty high up waterfalls as well. Really, really nice work. Couple more bits and bobs then. There are 6 new music tracks that you'll find in the adventure category: Lost City of El Blanco, Pack for Adventure, Valley of the King Coaster, Aztec Odyssey, Adventure Capsule, and Planet Adventure. All great. A few other little bits as well that came with a free patch, including the ability now to have on your building grid. Also, of course, there's a new section of walls and stuff as well. Let's have a quick look at those. Content packs, adventure. A whole new set of grids. But look at this. They're not on a grid. What? I don't know if that's a mistake, or if this is it from now on. Walls. Oh man, they're all coming together. Blocks of gold. Look at this. We've got some ruined blocks. So some stuff still is like archways and stuff. I guess things that are sort of specific. I think that. Oh, there. So there's your regular wall. There you go. But yeah, there's going to be these are on a grid. So that's it now. Can't have wall pieces on grids anymore. Outcrying 3, 2, 1. There's a whole new wall set, arches, loads of columns as well. Look at these. Oh, they all look so good. Tops, very useful pieces. Wall decorations. Most of these come with both the stone texture that is colourable and this awesome gold texture. Look at that. It looks so good. They're all pretty big. We've got a few other random bits. Oh, a shop facade. There we go. And whatever you are. Oh, a wall torch. Nice. Okay, cool. So there's loads of bits and bobs there as well. We have a... Oh, there's yeah, we just put that down, haven't we? Okay, cool. But yeah, the reason I came into here is that now, when we're building on a grid, we can actually change the grid size down to 1 meter without having to put out any special pieces. So we get a 1 meter grid. We also have, under shops and facilities, I assume, here a vista point. So this is something that goes down on a path, I imagine. And this tells guests that there's something cool to see here. Okay, so we can set focus path and then click a item of scenery and click confirm. And now that tells people that there is something good to look at. So guests will randomly walk over and just check it out. Okay, so we'll have a look at that properly in the live stream tomorrow, but that's a nice new ability as well. You can also rename the items that are sold in the shops. We also have a separate picnic bench category. I'm going on a lot, and I want to kind of keep this video as short and sweet as possible, but I've got to be honest, there is a lot in this pack, and it's kind of surprised me. I was a big fan of the spooky pack, and the difference was I was a big fan of the spooky pack from the second they said there's going to be a spooky pack. I was really looking forward to it. Adventure pack, it didn't really enthuse me until I've actually sat down and looked at what you get, and there is a lot of stuff here for the money, and there is a lot of really very useful stuff. They've made a lot of stuff piece by piece, the statues and all that. They didn't have to. That could have been one big solid unit that you were never going to use. But here now we can pull them apart. We've got bits of stone, we've got bits of vehicles. I think we're going to be able to make some really cool stuff with this. I'm very excited to see what people do. So there you go. There's the adventure pack overview. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, if you're watching this on the day of release, there's going to be a live stream tomorrow. We're going to be giving away a copy of this DLC on the channel. So check down to the link in the description. There'll be details there for how you can win a copy, and also we'll talk about that in the live stream too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, you can give us a like. It really does help out the channel. And if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. Any thoughts, queries, or suggestions, you can pop them down in the comments. And if you fancy a chat, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at John T. Sparrow. If you'd like to join in with the Geekism community, you can do so over on our Geekism Discord server. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.